Hello aspirants, welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 14th March 2022. So let's get started with our discussion and let us try to see today's quote. So today's quote, it is one of the motivation quote which is mainly given by Nelson Mandela. So quote says, "A winner is a dreamer who never gives up." So each and every aspirant, they will dream to clear this UPSC, but only few of them will succeed in this UPSC journey, right? So what is the difference between the failures and as well as winners? So winners, they are dreaming, and even losers, they are dreaming. But one small difference here is, so winner is a dreamer who never gives up. Okay, so they are not going to give up. So if you want to be a winner in UPSC, right, so you have to dream big and you should not give up. You should not never and ever give up. So yes, failures will come in this long journey. So we can see ups and downs. That is not only seen in your life, but almost all aspirants. So they will face ups and downs in their preparation. So they need to come back, and they need to come back with more energy, right? So this is the quote, and I hope this quote will give a little bit energy for your preparation, right? So now let us try to see first topic. It is regarding no ovation for India's stand on Ukraine war. So already you know that Russia-Ukraine issue, which is mainly going on. Russia started attacking a number of cities of Ukraine, and Russia started occupying some important cities of Ukraine. So here in this Russia-Ukraine issue, so what is the India stand? So what are the India's issues? That is mainly discussed in this topic. So which is important and relevant from our UPSC point of view, we are going to discuss that. So this topic, it is important from our GS paper 2, which mainly comes under our international relations. So if you see central theme, it mainly says that refusing to take a firm line on the invasion while continuing to see itself as the world's teacher is not credible. So here we need to take a stand. So this is the thing which mainly said by this article. So now, due to this Russia-Ukraine conflict or Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which mainly placed a considerable moral responsibility on India. So why? If you're talking about India, okay, if you're talking about India, it is the world's largest democracy, and even we can see it is one of the most populous country. That is the second most populous, right? So first is China, second is India. So because of this, we are having some moral responsibility from Indian side. So however, in United Nations, even though in this United Nations Security Council, now India, it is a non-permanent member, that is temporary member of this United Nations Security Council. So even though India refused to condemn the violation of the rights of Ukrainians, so India, which is mainly having a neutral stand here. So it has instead put out a homily that mainly speaks of resolving the differences through dialogue. So India says that we should not go for war. So what are the issues are there between this Russia and Ukraine? They can settle by a dialogue. So this is a thing which mainly said by India. So if you're talking about some background of this article, it mainly says that India said it was watching the latest developments along this Ukraine's border, and even Russia recognized or Russia announced these two separatist states in Ukraine, that is Donbas region. So let me know, so which are the areas which comes under this Donbas region, right? So this Donbas region, which mainly said by Russia as independent state. Okay, so this is one cause of concern as well. So India mainly stopped short of criticizing this Russia's action, and even during the debate which is mainly happening in this United Nations Security Council, India, which mainly stopped criticizing this Russia's movements. So if you're talking about India's stand on Russia's Ukraine conflict, So first and the foremost one is India says that we cannot go for war. So whatever the issues are there, we can go for resolving of those disputes diplomatically. Okay, so this is the one important thing which mainly said by India, and India which mainly restrain or abstain from voting in the different instances like United Nations Security Council resolution and even IAEA resolution and United Nations Human Rights Council resolution. So in all these things, India mainly abstained voting. And next one is India also abstained at United Nations Security Council meeting on Russia-Ukraine conflict. So actually this resolution which mainly moved by USA, okay, and this voting or this resolution which mainly abstained, India didn't vote. And India's one more important thing that you have to remember is long-term peace and stability in the region. So India's priority is for the de-escalation of tensions which are mainly going on, and we are mainly aiming towards establishment of peace and stability in this region. So now let us try to focus on what are the concerns of India. So first important concern here is, so whenever different countries and alliances which are mainly coming towards, and if one country which is supporting another country and if one more alliance which is supporting another country, means what happened, that will lead to a world war. Okay, so this is an important concern of India. So any conflict where US and its European allies, they are ranging against Russia, and this impact will not only seen on those countries but even whole world it is going to see that impact. So in terms of energy security, in terms of security as well. Okay, and next one is US waiver for S-400. So actually we are going to get this S-400 missile system from Russia. So actually what happened, US imposed sanctions on Russia. So whenever any country which is going for any deal with that country, so that sanctions will also imposed on the country which is going to get defense from that country under this CAATSA. So CAATSA is nothing but countering American adversaries through Sanctions Act. So it is one of the issue regarding India. And next one is growing Russia-China relations. So due to this ongoing Russia-Ukraine crisis, which is mainly this Russia which is mainly dependent on the friends like China, okay, and it is going to build a regional bloc of sorts that India, it is not part of it. So it is also one concern for India. And next one is energy crisis, especially some European countries which mainly dependent on this Russia for this crude oil and as well as natural gas. So because of this Russia-Ukraine conflict, the supply had been decreased. So because of this, it mainly increases the energy price, that is crude oil prices, and we are seeing that Brent crude oil which mainly really reached like $140 per barrel. Okay, so even because of this Russia-Ukraine conflict, so many other countries throughout the world, they are going to face some problems that will lead to economic crisis once again. So due to this COVID-19 pandemic, we are in this economic crisis situation, and many countries, each and every country which is mainly trying its best to come out of this economic crisis. But due to this Russia-Ukraine crisis, so this recovery process will going to be delayed, and even many countries, they mainly depend on this Russia for their energy securities. So whenever there is decreasing of supply of this gas and as well as crude oil, means that will be having some negative impact on that energy security of those countries as well. Okay, so this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic is regarding unguided missile. So already from last 4 days we are discussing about this issue. Okay, so it is about missile attack. So from Indian side, missile entered into this Pakistan. So it is one cause of concern for both India and Pakistan. So this article, it is important regarding GS paper 2 under international relations. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So what happened? So here even India which mainly gave explanation regarding that missile, okay, but Pakistan didn't accepted that, and Pakistan which is mainly demanding for joint probe. Okay, so now let us try to see context. So an accidental firing of a missile by India into Pakistan, that mainly led to serious unintended escalation of tensions between India and Pakistan. So actually you know that these two countries, India and Pakistan, they are nuclear armed countries, right? And unfortunately, okay, we can see like that did not happen, like increasing of escalation of tension serious, but Pakistan mainly asked for or demanded for this joint probe to investigate into this issue. So government of India has said that incident that mainly happened on March 9th because of some misfunction or malfunction which mainly happened in that missile. So for this, India mainly ordered high-level court of inquiry, okay, regarding this malfunction of these missiles. So in this context, Pakistan didn't accept that. Pakistan mainly said that we are going to want, Pakistan demanded that we need a joint probe. So Pakistan also alleged that incident which mainly indicates many loopholes and even some technical lapses of a serious nature in India's handling of strategic weapons. So whenever any country which is handling this nuclear weapons or strategic weapons, so it need to maintain some technical things, and we need to maintain proper security, safety, etc. So here whenever this type of malfunction which is happening in this missile and it entered into this Pakistan territory, means here Pakistan which mainly saying that India, it is mainly having some loopholes and even some technical lapses that are mainly seen in handling of the strategic weapons. And Pakistan also termed this inquiry as ordered by India as insufficient, and Pakistan which mainly demanded for the joint probe for inquiry into this incident. And it also sought that involvement of even international community also important to promote strategic stability in this region. So if you're talking about background, so Pakistan claimed that unarmored Indian supersonic missile which mainly landed at a place which is 124 kilometers within this Pakistan territory. And the reply which is given by this Indian Defense Ministry is because of some technical malfunction, this led to this accidental firing of missile. And Pakistan now it is demanding a joint probe to investigate this issue. So if you're talking about which are the agreements that are mainly focusing on this missile testing between India and Pakistan. So this agreement which mainly signed in 2005, so commonly called as 2005 agreement between India and Pakistan, it mainly talks about pre-notification of flight testing of this ballistic missiles. Okay, so this 2005 agreement of pre-notification of flight testing of ballistic missiles. So under this agreement, what are the some provisions? So first one is each country they should notify each other at least 3 days advance regarding flight test, whether it is surface to surface or land or sea launched missile. So one country need to give information to another country, and the testing country should ensure that launch site it is not within 40 kilometers and the planned impact is should not be more than 75 kilometers area from the international boundary or line of control. So the target here is it should not cross 40 kilometers. Actually here it entered 124 kilometers into the Pakistan territory, and the planned trajectory should not cross this international boundary or line of control, but it had to maintain a horizontal distance of at least 40 kilometers from the border, right? And before the test, country must issue a notice of air missions, that is NOTAM, or country should issue navigational warnings to alert aviation pilots and as well as seafarers, etc. And if you're talking about what is the reason of malfunctioning behind this missile, so first one here is, so missile changed direction mid-air. Okay, so because of this that led to this incident, and the first thing could be that coordinates are not correct. So coordinates who are coordinating with this missile, they are not correct, and the missile could have malfunction if the target data that has been fed into the missile get corrupted. So whatever the data which is mainly given to that missile, if that data it is corrupted also, that will lead to this malfunction. Okay, so this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding India relocates embassy in Ukraine to Poland. Okay, so this article is mainly talking about embassy. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So this topic is also important from your international relations. So context says that with Russian forces, they mainly stepping up their attack on Ukrainian cities and closing in on capital Kiev. So the government has decided to temporarily relocate this Indian embassy, moving all officials across the border to Poland. So what happened now? Now across this Russia-Ukraine border, so conflict which is mainly going on, and these Russian forces, they are stepping up their attacks on these Russian cities, and they want to occupy this capital city of this Ukraine, that is Kiev. So the government has decided, so normally these embassies, they will be present in these capital cities of the countries. So because of this Russian attacks which want to capture this capital city, so now the embassy which is present in this Kiev, so here this Indian government which mainly decided to temporarily shift this Indian embassy, okay, to the borders to Poland, okay, across the borders to Poland. So if you see the map, then it will be very much clear where is this Poland is also located. So if you see details, it mainly says that the decision to move out of this Ukraine after this Russian attacks on the western Ukrainian town, that is Lviv, near the Polish border, so where embassy had set up a camp office for the past few weeks. So actually our Indian government which came up with this Operation Ganga to evacuate the standard students in this Ukraine to India, right? So whoever the Indian students who are stranded in this Ukraine, so they are mainly sent back to India through this Operation Ganga. So during this Operation Ganga, so there was one camp which mainly set up, camp office which mainly set up across this border, and this camp office which mainly facilitate for the movement of the Indian students to move out of the country, right? So here, so because of this, we are mainly decided to move our embassy temporarily to this Poland border. So if you're talking about Indian embassy in Kiev, so it was established in May 1992, and Ukraine which mainly opened its mission in New Delhi in February 1993. So first we established our embassy in Ukraine, and later on Ukraine embassy which mainly established in India in 1993. So actually if you are talking about friendly relation between India and Ukraine, so we cooperate in different areas like education, mutual legal assistance, and even outer space cooperation, etc. So now let us have a look after this map. So here we have Ukraine, and here we have this river, that is Dnieper, which mainly divides Ukraine into two parts. So this is a question I think I asked once. And this is the Russia, so this is the Ukraine-Russia border, and here we have Sea of Azov, this is our Crimea, here this is Moldova, right, and here we have Romania, here we have Hungary, Slovakia and Poland. So we are shifting our embassy to this Poland, and this is Belarus, right. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding budget session. So budget session to resume from Monday. So here this topic, it is important from our polity point of view, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. So now let us try to discuss this topic in a very great detail. So if you see context, it mainly says that the second part of Parliament's budget session, which is going to begin from today, that is Monday. So with the opposition set to corner the government on range of issues. So in this budget session here, opposition party, they will be giving some questions, asking some questions, right? So some of the important topics they are going to discuss, like rising of unemployment. Even our budget which mainly said that there is increasing of unemployment that is seen in the country. And even recently we saw that in this EPFO, that is Employee Provident Fund, there is decreasing of interest rate. So whenever there is decreasing of interest rate, that will be impacting employees. Okay, so these are the two important areas they are going to ask some questions, okay, by the opposition parties, right? And if you're talking about some facts regarding this budget session, so actually if you're talking about Article 85 of Indian Constitution, so Article 85 of Indian Constitution which mainly says that there should not be gap which is more than 6 months, okay? There should not be the gap which is more than 6 months between two sessions of Parliament. So between two sessions of Parliament, the time gap should not be more than 6 months. And the Constitution does not specify when or for how many days Parliament should meet. That means if you're talking about sessions in parliament, then you're having normally 3 sessions, right? So actually the gap should not be more than 6 months. It is according to Article 85 of Indian Constitution. And if you're talking about budgeting process in India, so this process, which is mainly led in Article 112 to 117 of Indian Constitution. Article 112, which mainly talks about annual financial statement, right? And even rules 204 to 221 and 331 EO for rules, procedure and code of conduct of business in Lok Sabha, which mainly talks about this budgeting procedure. So if we're talking about budget, which mainly goes through 6 stages. So if you open your Lakshmikant, then detail everything which is given in our Lakshmikant in Parliament chapter. So here we are having 6 stages. First one is presentation of budget. So who is going to present the budget in the Lok Sabha? So let me know that, okay, that answer for that question. So that will be very important. And next one is we will be having general discussion and scrutiny will be done by these departmental committees, and we will be going for voting on demands for grants, and later on we will go for passing of appropriation bill and passing of financial bill. Okay, so these are the 6 stages of passing of budget, right? And next one is, if you are talking about the sessions in our Indian Parliament, normally we will be having 3 sessions. Okay, every year we will be having 3 sessions: budget session, monsoon session, winter session. And budget session will be the longest session, that is February to May, and monsoon will be from July to September, and winter will be from November to December. I will be giving you one mnemonic, that is BMW. Take first letter BMW. Here FJN. So BMW, fast जाते नहीं. Okay, BMW, fast जाते नहीं. It is a mnemonic mainly to remember this sessions of Parliament. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding Chilika Lake area to be off limits for motorboats. So actually this Chilika Lake, which is mainly located in Odisha, actually this lake which is very much famous for this migratory birds. So whenever we are going for using of this mechanized boats in this Chilika Lake for fishing, it mainly affects this migratory birds. So for the migratory birds, there is a one convention which mainly talks about conservation of this migratory birds, right? So because of this, here court order which mainly gave that we should go for banning of this mechanized boats in this Chilika Lake. So this article is important from your environment and ecology, which mainly comes under your GS paper 3. So if you see context, it mainly says that Odisha government, which mainly proposed to ban movement of this mechanized fishing boats in this Mangal Jodi area of Chilika Lake. So in this Mangal Jodi area of Chilika Lake, so Odisha government which mainly proposed to ban this mechanized boats because it is a very much important site for this migratory birds, and we need to provide this winged guest undisturbed ecosystem for at least 6 months per year. So because of this, at this time there is banning of mechanized fishing boats in this area. If you are talking about some important details, it mainly says that Odisha High Court concurred with the proposal, that is mainly regarding directly banning, okay, banning of this mechanized boats, and it should be properly and strictly implemented. And for this, so whenever government and the court order which is given to ban this mechanized community, is it enough? No. So we need to also come up with discussions with the local area people, and we need to talk about some different organizations which are present. Okay, so for this, a high level meeting which mainly discussed regarding this court order, and the fisheries department, wildlife department, they came up with consultation with each other, and even they talked about with this fishermen as well regarding this mechanized fishing boats. So if you're talking about some facts regarding this Mangal Jodi, so this Mangal Jodi which mainly recognized as a globally important area for the conservation of birds, and actually these migratory birds, they will arrive here for roosting. Roosting means they will be coming and they will be settling and they will be taking some rest actually in these areas. And if you're talking about statutory rules and as well as regulations, whether they are present in this Mangal Jodi or not, no statutory rules and as well as regulations are there for protecting of this 8.3 square kilometers marshland, right? So if you see map, so this is our Chilika Lake, and here we have this Mangal Jodi area. Okay, So this is about this map. And if you're talking about some facts regarding this Chilika Lake, so Chilika Lake, it is one of the Asia's largest and world's second largest lagoon. So what is this lagoon? For example, if you say this is the land which is present and this is the sea water, and what happened because of this waves which will be bringing some sediments and that will be forming a split, okay, spit bar, and finally this area which is enclosed by the sediments and it is forming a small lake like thing. So this type of lake is called as a lagoon, right? And in 1981, Chilika Lake was designated as the first Indian wetland of international importance under this Ramsar Convention. So actually the one of the important major attraction of this Chilika is irregular dolphins. Okay, irregular dolphins are present, and even in this Chilika Lake we can see a Nalabana Island is present, and it is mainly covering about 16 square kilometers in a lagoon area, and this area which mainly declared as bird sanctuary in year 1987. And we can see Kali Jai temple which is located here, and this Chilika which mainly hosts number of migratory birds. They are mainly migrated from thousands of miles away from Caspian Sea, Lake Baikal, Aral Sea, okay, and they will be also coming from remote areas of Russia, Mongolia, Central and as well as Southeast Asia, Ladakh, Himalayas, right? So here this is about this topic, and now let's try to see yesterday's questions. So first question is regarding Lord Dalhousie, right? That is regarding Women Disability Act and Widow Remarriage Act. So first statement here is Lord Dalhousie's government was responsible for passing off two important acts. The first one, it is regarding Women Disability Act and as well as Widow Remarriage Act. Yes, this statement is correct. And next one is women are not permitted to remarry as per Veda, Shastra and Smritis, but it is not as per Veda. So Vedas are not talking about women. Okay, women should not remarry, but Shastras, Smritis and as well as society which is saying that. So here we can eliminate this second statement. So correct option will be only one. And next question is regarding Rathod system. So the pioneer of Rathod system is Thomas Munro. Yes, absolutely correct. And the land revenue system was collected directly from the peasant or riot. Yes. And other name of this is permanent settlement. So actually this permanent settlement, it is mainly called for this Zamindari system but not this Rathod. So you can eliminate this third statement. So if you are eliminating this third statement, correct answer will be 1 and 2 only. As riots, they had direct link with government, the role of money lenders will be minimal. But if they want to pay the high amount of taxes, so farmers, they started taking the money which is borrowing from this money lenders at a higher interest rate. So because of this, here the money lender role is increased in this Rathod system. So this statement is incorrect. So correct answer will be 1 and 2. So these are the today's questions. The first one, it is regarding Cornwallis Code, and second one, it is regarding Gento Code. So if you have complete reading your Spectrum or Bipin Chandra, then you can easily answer these questions, right? So now let us try to see Hindu newspaper PDF. So before that, I want to make a small announcement. We in Rathod's IAS, we came up with a number of courses. We are mainly going to launch pen drive course for entire foundational course for 2023. Especially it's very helpful for beginners and even the students who already gave their UPSC attempts. So this course, it is very useful because here each and every subject which is mainly dealt in a very great detail, and we are also providing the detailed classes of each and every topic, and conceptual clarity will be given here. And even I can say these courses will be helpful at most to understand the concept, and this will be very helpful to clear your UPSC because the trends in this UPSC had been changed. They are not asking fact-based questions now. They started asking analysis-based questions. So to answer those questions in both prelims and mains, you have to get the conceptual clarity that we are providing in these courses. So if you don't want the pen drive course, and you can visit our Rathod's IAS Academy website. There also you can purchase the courses, right? And we are offering entire foundational course, and even if you are weak in a single subject like economy, history, geography, ethics, you can take the single module as well. Okay, and for these classes we are also going to provide the class material in the form of PDF, and there is no need of making any notes, and we provide you one-to-one mentorship. So if you are taking entire foundational course, we are going to provide prelims test series and as well as means answer writing course of that year, which year you're going to give exam. So that year we are going to offer this prelims test series and even means answer writing course of that year. So in this course, it is very beneficial and the prices are also very much affordable. Okay, so if you want to talk to me regarding that courses, you can call to this number 8074765513. Okay, and now let us have a look over this Hindu PDF today. So date here is March 14th 2022. So the first article here is PM briefed on missile issue, reviews defense situation. So actually this article, it is important from our GS paper to international relations. Already in our editorial we discussed about this topic, right? So our Prime Minister, he is mainly held a meeting with cabinet committees on security to discuss the security preparedness. Okay, so whenever the malfunction of this missile is happening, so it is also some impact, it will be also having some impact even on the security of the country, right? So because of this cabinet committee on security meeting, which mainly held by this Prime Minister to discuss about this issue. And next topic regarding embassy relocation, I discussed this topic. And if you move on, you cannot read this city paper, and if you move forward to this state paper, I didn't found much important articles today, and you can leave this education plus. Yes, if you see this editorial page, I discussed these two articles regarding Ukraine war and as well as unguided missile, and today there is no op-ed page. So here assembly polls, you can leave this page. If you are interested, you can read. Okay, and if you see this news page number 9, you can see one article that is India needs to promote work opportunities, says RSS. So here what happened in India, one important problem here we are facing is increasing of this unemployment rate. So unemployment is hitting the roof. So the highest decision making body of this RSS, which mainly said that we need to take some steps, especially to promote work opportunities for the people, such that we can make our nation self-reliant. So this is the thing which mainly said. So here we need to go for increasing the focus on homegrown industries, and we need to focus on sectors which will generate large rate of employment. Okay, and we need to create Bharatiya economic model and such that we need to be self-reliant. So this is the thing which mainly said here. And here this article we discussed about this budget session. And if you move forward, here you can see government drug stores to sell nutraceuticals. So here you need to understand what is the meaning of this nutraceuticals. So nutraceuticals means nothing but the products which mainly include some protein powder, and it mainly contains malt based food supplements and immunity based products that will come under this nutraceuticals. So if you're talking about this government drug stores, there are like 8,675 Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana Kendras. So here you need to focus on what is this Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana. So it is your homework for today. And next topic is regarding this Chilika Lake. I already discussed about that, right? And next topic is regarding Russian air strike hits army base, kills 35 people. So actually what happened, so missile which mainly attacked one important area. Okay, so because of that missile attack, about 35 people mainly they lost their life. So actually the Russian missiles, they mainly attacked military training. Okay, military training base which is located in this western Ukraine. Okay, and because of this attack which mainly killed 35 people. So this is one cause of concern again. And one more interesting article you can see is China to face consequences if it helped Russia evade sanctions. So what happened here, Russia and China, they are mainly moving towards in this Ukraine crisis, Russia-Ukraine crisis. So because of this, US National Security Advisor, he mainly said that if any country, for example China, whenever it is helping Russia to evade sanctions means, so China should also face consequences. So this is the thing which mainly said by USA. Already between USA and Russia, China, there is some type of escalations that are mainly going on, right? So in this context, whenever Russia, which is mainly seeking some help from China, and China which is supporting Russia means, so Russia which also going to face consequences, right? And you can leave this paper, that is money wise. So these are the some important articles that appear in the today's newspaper. I discussed important editorials, I discussed important articles along with the facts and as well as maps, and at last I show you the newspaper PDF also. So in this way you can easily locate where are the articles that are present which I discussed in this lecture. So by this I am concluding. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Please subscribe to Rathod's IS Academy and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos. And don't forget to enroll to those courses that are absolutely beneficial. Thank you so much.